joining us right now, the Mercenary Flip Gordon. Now, Flip, it's been 2 years since you've been on the show. I think the first time we spoke, you were probably maybe a few months into Northeast Wrestling. I remember filming one of your first promos for Northeast Wrestling. Now, skip ahead a few years later, and you're probably one of the biggest names around. Is it safe to say you've been keeping busy the last 2 years?
The last 2 years, yes. The last year or last 7 months, not so much. It's been a rough year for me because I had blown my knee out in January, and then I blew my elbow out in June. So,
what are some of the moments that you're most proud of so far in your career?
oh my gosh, there's so many to count. I returned from injury this year, from the knee injury at Madison Square Garden. Not only that, it was sold out, the world's most famous arena, and I got a pinfall over Bully Ray. That's definitely got to be up there.
Absolutely.
You're well known for your high flying style, but has being injured in the past has that had any effect on what you're going to be doing in the ring? Any moves in the ring now? Do you kind of second guess what you're going to do or no?
I haven't really thought about that yet because I haven't even been in a ring yet since I've gotten hurt. I'm returning to the ring this weekend for Ring of Honor, so I'm hoping I get a little bit of ring time before then. I think as the Mercenary, I'm not going to have to do as much high flying, although I still can, and I think that I'm not going to be limited that much at all. But I think as the character, I don't think I'm going to have to. And I really want to be that. I want to be the Mercenary.
A little bit of a heel turn, if you will, for you. Is it a breath of fresh air for you, maybe, being the heel now?
I don't know if it's necessarily a heel turn or if I'm just, I'm tired of doing it a certain way that I was told. Now Marty's given me another option. And as a Mercenary, I'm just a hired hitman. I'm an independent contractor, just like professional wrestling, So if somebody wants to give me a job like Marty has, and he gave me the best offer. That's why Lifeblood didn't get me, because they didn't have the best offer.
You shocked the world by becoming a part of Villain Enterprises. You've said a little bit about this, but how's your life kind of changed since joining the group?
Oh, it's been amazing, especially because since being part of Villain Enterprises, my meet and greets have gone up, my merch sales have gone up. And when that happens, it means I'm making more money. I'm getting back in the ring. I'm getting to do what I love. That also makes me very happy.
No, yeah, for sure. And I think you told me once, if you want to make it in the business and make money, you got to travel as a wrestler. Do you think being exposed to multiple territories and different companies help elevated you a lot quicker than others?
Oh, absolutely. I think being able to travel and wrestle other styles and other wrestlers from other countries, and even being in there with guys that I shouldn't have been in the ring with yet, but being in there with them taught me faster than being just here in New England. If I would have just stayed in New England, I don't think I would have gotten as good as fast as I did.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're currently signed with Ring of Honor Wrestling, and right now it's a real resurgence of professional wrestling. It's something that's mainstream again, and it's a lot like when the Attitude Era, you don't have to be ashamed to be a wrestling fan anymore. What's your current take on the state of professional wrestling? Like, how do you feel about how business is these days?
I think the business is booming, as they would say. Whenever there's more work, it's better for not only the wrestlers, but for the fans, because I don't know about you, but I love ice cream. I love vanilla ice cream. Not everybody likes vanilla ice cream. And so now there's different flavors. If you like Impact Wrestling, if you like Ring of Honor Wrestling, if you like WWE, if you like New Japan, if you like AEW, if you like CMLL, AAA, there's so many different styles now. And I just named about 7 or 8 top professional wrestling companies. And so that just shows you how good the professional wrestling business is doing right now.
Can you tell us a little bit about, though, from Brody, PCO, Marty, what is it like, just each one of them, working with them, because they all bring their own traits to the group, if you will. Any words about each of the members?
PCO is a maniac. I don't know if you watched a few weeks ago, but we were in Atlanta, and PCO's eye malfunctioned, and he did a dive onto nobody.
Oof, I saw.
That's insane. I would never do a dive on a nobody. I don't even want to do a dive on the people. Brody is probably the most agile big man I've ever seen. And he can do lucha. He can springboard. I'm pretty sure I saw him do a Ray Phoenix, that double bounce something on the ropes the other day. He's just unreal. And then he's a freaking animal and just a hoss.
You were just in Chicago as part of the second annual Flips All Outside Party. What were some of the highlights from the weekend? You got to see a lot of fans. Anything that really happened that you were excited about that weekend?
It was a fun time. I've had a few weeks off, obviously. I mean, actually, I've had like 2 months off being injured again. So it was nice to be able to see the fans, to see Marty that weekend at Pro Wrestling Tees. We did a meet and greet together. Marty and Flip take Chicago. And then my All Outside Party, the second annual, just being able to be there with the fans and hang out, take pictures. And we actually had a dunk tank, which was so awesome and so much fun. And Brian Cage came out to support, and Brian Pillman Jr. came out to support. And it was so cool, like, because we had Frank the Clown was there, Noel Foley was there, but Frank the Clown was talking a lot of smack to some little kids. And I kid you not, almost every single kid dunked him.
Oh, man.
And then we raised over, I think, I don't know if I'm allowed to release this. I think it was over like $400 to a charity through the dunk tank.
Wow.
So I want to thank everyone that played that, because that was so much fun. And then to end it was the coolest, and you can't script this. I was watching every single person that was playing throughout the whole day, and I took all their techniques. And you can ask anyone there. I went very last, and I dunked Frank 3 times in a row. And on the third time, like, the little target exploded. You can't make this up. You can ask anyone there.
Flip, we mentioned earlier, you said the different flavors of pro wrestling from all the different companies out there. I think one thing that I loved about Ring of Honor was that how they would work with New Japan or CMLL or whatnot. Do you think that's probably maybe the future of pro wrestling, to where more companies are just going to interwork with each other in a certain way, I guess, where certain guys go somewhere and certain guys go somewhere else or whatnot? But do you think more partnerships like that is maybe beneficial to companies in the future?
I do think it would be very beneficial for a lot of companies, just for the fact that you wouldn't know what could happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like me and Brian Cage, we're good buddies. You know, he's Impact World Champion. We're also co-holder of WSW Tag Team Champions over in Australia. Now, if Impact and Ring of Honor were to work up, imagine if we were to tag together. You know, maybe go to New Japan and tag together. You know what I mean? Just for that. But I mean, when you work together, I think it creates more opportunities. Also, I have a lot of goals. So, like, I want to go work in Mexico. So if I have a goal, being partnered with CML helps me with those goals. I wanted to go to Japan. Being partnered with New Japan Pro Wrestling helped me reach those goals. You know what I mean? That was one of the selling points on me for Ring of Honor, and I think that's a selling point for lots of people. That's why they like Ring of Honor, is because you don't know which CMLL guys are going to come in. You don't know which New Japan guys are going to come in. But when they do, you kind of learn about them, and you get to know them, and you get to like them.
Mm-hmm.
What is your dream scenario for your time in Ring of Honor?
I want to be Ring of Honor World Champion. I want to be the best wrestler that Ring of Honor has. I want to climb my way all the way to the top of Ring of Honor and say that I am the best in Ring of Honor.
You've wrestled everyone from Jushin Thunder Liger to Cody and everyone else in between. But have you had maybe some favorites that stand out that, you know, when we look back on this day in history, people are going to always talk about, you know, the Mercenary Flip Gordon versus so-and-so? Is there anybody that's, I don't know, maybe stood out to you as being one of your favorite matches to have?
I would have to say me and Ospreay. He's just one of the funnest guys I've ever been in the ring with.
We wish you nothing but a speedy recovery. We want to see you back in action, especially this weekend, as soon as you can. I know all the fans out there want to see you back, but we thank you so much for hanging out with us for a few minutes. And for everybody listening out there, I don't know why they wouldn't know you, but if they didn't know where to find you on social media, where can they hit you up?
All my social media is the same. I keep it simple. So Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is all at the Flip Gordon.
Awesome, Flip. Well, maybe we'll do this again in another 2 years. We'll see you are then, but we wish you nothing but the best, man.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys having me.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Of course.